see me clearly. Just gotta make sure I look all right. I'm sorry for the late start, folks. Very, very busy Monday. I'll tell you that. It's a little bit windy out here today in Redwood City. The temperature gauge said 73 degrees where I parked my car, the outside temperature. And it feels about that. Probably feels more closer to 70 degrees with the wind, so this is like the perfect day. There's just a lot of wind. But that's okay. That's why I use this big furry ball on here known as a windscreen. They call it a dead cat. And I have to use one at least this size or else you won't be able to hear me. I've tried using smaller windscreens in the past and they didn't work. This one works perfect. And you know what? I've been scrutinized for having this big windscreen near my face for my microphone in the past. And it's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all, you know. As long as I can bring you high quality audio and video, even from mobile, the highest quality possible, that's all that matters. I want to make sure you can hear me, right? That's very important. So who's out there today? Wow, it's very windy, but it's beautiful out here. It's absolutely beautiful. Let me just go ahead and cross the street here. And the water is amazing. Hey Queen, how are you doing? Welcome to the show, Queen Helen Casey. This is absolutely beautiful. The sun is glistening on the water. I'm going to have an amazing walk today. It's not going to be the longest walk. I'm not going to go to both sides. I'm back at Bar Island in Redwood City at the San Francisco Bay Trail. And I'm just going to go one side. I'm going to do about 3.5 miles, 3.25 miles, not 4.5 miles today like I normally do. Because I'm going to come back, eat a little dinner, and then I'm going to do a show from the studio tonight. It's a very interesting topic. I'm going to focus the entire topic on this. And that show won't be too terribly long either, probably about an hour and a half. It's going to start around 10 or 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7 or 7:30 p.m. Pacific. And it's going to be regarding, how do men stay motivated? How do men that work out regularly stay motivated to work out regularly, right? There's a great Reddit posting I read on this with a ton of comments, and they make a lot of sense. And I have my own personal feedback on this because I work out regularly, even at 47, almost 48 years old. There are some people coming out of the trail, so I'm going to wait for them to pop on out, and I'm going to show you folks the beautiful scenery here. There's a lot of wind coming at me. Queen, can you hear me right now clearly, even with this high wind? You should be able to. Like, I'll show you over there. You can see those signs. It's pretty windy. All right. That couple just exited the trail. I'm going to hop on in right now. They still haven't fixed this door. Maybe one day they'll fix the handle. Who knows? It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Yeah. The Queen is here. She says, you're good. SIF USMO says, hello, Coach. Hello, Queen. Hello, SIF USMO Dion. Queen says, hello, Dion. SIF USMO says, hello, Queen. Lewis Fuller's in the house. Good evening, Eli. Good evening to you as well, Lewis. Lewis, or Queen says, hello, Lewis. And Lewis says, I'm watching your ads. Lewis, you're like a robot. See, Lewis, it's so funny. You're so used to those old networking days that YouTube likes to call sub for sub. Lewis, you've got that sub for sub lingo down, don't you? I'm watching your ads in full. I'm going to watch your videos in full. I still love you, Lewis. It just cracks me up. You're like a robot. You help everyone, right? Lewis says yes. Lewis, you know, when you deal with Coach Eli doesn't hold back. You know, we call people out on everything. Even people we love and care for, right, Lewis? We call them out. In a fun and playful way, of course, Lewis, right? So it looks like a bunch of people showing up today from the mod crew. Before we get to the topic here today, I just want to remind everyone that the new subreddit is live. It's been live for a couple days now. The Genuine Emotional Support Group for men and women. Started by yours truly, me, Coach Eli, Elias Melas. Dion, don't get Eli started on that because it triggers me too. Dion, here's the thing. Dion, why would you mention that in the chat after we talked about it privately behind the scenes? That we don't need to mention people that do those things, right? Because mentioning them, bro, is just feeding into them, right? We'll talk a little bit about that here today, right? But that's what some people want out here on YouTube and other social media platforms. They just want to do whatever it takes to instigate people, so that way those people get involved. Then those people that instigate you to get involved, they do whatever it takes to trigger you. And that's all they want. They try to trigger you to make entertaining content at your expense, right? For themselves, right? For their own benefit, right? Monetarily, and to keep their audience around, right? So why would you want to give that to people? Yeah, I agree, Coach. I mean, let me ask you a question, Dion. Do you feel that sometimes, like, you want to give these people a piece of your mind, even subtly? Here's the thing, dude. With these people, even if you subtly hint towards them, that's feeding into them. They'll still make content off of that, right? They'll even make content off of me talking about this in a roundabout way for example purposes, bro. So, you know, the best thing to do is just ignore these people. Let them make their videos. Who cares? It doesn't affect me directly. I'm out on this trail enjoying a nice walk on a nice day. I could care less what videos they make on us or how much shit they talk about us. I don't care. I really don't. And I got great things happening in my personal life now. I've been spending more time with my family. And I just, you know, I don't have time for any BS drama. I don't. I really don't. And I did this stream today because, or I wanted to do this stream today because I want to help you, guys like you, Dion, and Lauren, who's also a moderator here from the Real Talk with Lauren channel. Queen understands this pretty well, so Queen, you already know this. But Lewis can learn from this as well, his sister Adelaide, and anyone else involved here that's experienced similar things. I want to share with you folks how I've handled these situations, how I overcame this, right? And there really is only one thing you can do. There's only one thing you can do. I'm going to give you the answer right now if you folks want to leave. Okay. It's just ignore, 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 ignore. I don't know how much more I can say that. Ignore, right? If you ignore and don't feed into anything, you give him no content. You give him nothing, right? It doesn't faze you, right? It shouldn't faze you. And even if you ignore them for a while, they're going to still try to come and get you, right? They're going to try harder. In the case of myself, they've taken things into real life, and I still ignore that. At first I didn't, but once I learned the game they're playing, the trolls and haters, I just, ignore everything, whether they do it in online or in real life. That's what I'm trying to help you folks understand. It's not easy. It took me over 3 years to figure that out on YouTube, right? And I was already a strong man emotionally off of YouTube, but when I came onto YouTube, I had to become 10 times stronger because of the way things are out here. But I figured it out, and now I want to help as many of you as possible figure it out so you can have positivity and happiness in your life and move your vision forward, not someone else's at your expense, right? Does that make any sense, or am I talking out of my culo? You know what my culo is? You know what a culo is, Dion? If my father was still alive and he saw half the things happening out here on YouTube, he'd want to whip all those guys' asses, right? That do this crap, right? LOL, says Dion. Yes, Lewis, that's your butt, your ass. Lewis, we don't have to be that PG. It is okay within the YouTube's guidelines and monetization policies, right, in terms of service. Occasional profanity used in the right context, Lewis Fuller, will not necessarily get you demonetized, but context matters. We're just having a friendly conversation, right? It's a figure of speech. When my dad would whoop their ass, it's a figure of speech saying he'd put them in their place. I think the YouTube gods can interpret context pretty well. They've been doing it for a while now, right? The YouTube gods love me. They monetize all my videos because I'm a good, clean channel. I'm here to create positivity and help people create greatness in this world. And I do that by trying to help you guys avoid getting sucked into stupid shit, right? Like I used to get sucked into. Even in my younger days when I was a little kid. And in my teens and early 20s, I would get sucked into drama groups before the internet was even big, right? Now that's gone online. Now it's real easy to get sucked into drama groups. I'm here to help you guys avoid getting sucked in to the endless drama vortex, right? Give me a second here. But if you folks are into that kind of stuff, then that's on you, right? If you enjoy feeding into drama and being a part of drama, that's up to you. But just, let me know. And then I have to ask, hey, why would you want to be here on a positive channel if you're into that kind of stuff, right? It kind of contradicts itself, unless you're trolling, which I don't think any of my mods are trolling. If any of them are, you're doing a damn good job. Hey, Lewis says SIFUSMO. Lewis says hi, SIFUSMO. So, folks, yeah, like I was saying, the emotional support group, the genuine emotional support group for men and women on Reddit, run by yours truly here, has been live for a few days. You can join at reddit.com/r/real emotional support. One more time, reddit.com/r/real emotional support, all one word. Or go below in the description, about a couple lines down from the top of the description after the title of the stream, and you'll see a link there. You can click to it directly. If you're a moderator on my channel, please join. It's free to join. And then in the Facebook private chat group we have, please send me your username, and I will add you as a moderator onto the Reddit group, the subreddit. We need mods for that group. Now, Reddit is run very well, and it's very good at handling spam automatically. and trolling. So I really haven't had that many issues with trolls, but I'm sure they're going to try to pull their thing at some point. But so far, as of the time I went live, there were 11 people that have joined the group, and there's already some great conversation happening in there. And I'm going to tell you, to my mods, you're going to want to find a way to get involved. It's simple. Just create a free account, right? Because it's going to blow up. And the people that are a part of it from the beginning, what I'm trying to say, the people that are a part of it from the beginning, before it blows up, and it's very windy, are going to benefit the most. You can share your YouTube channels in there, and you'll get a lot of exposure, more than you're getting on YouTube. Reddit is a great way to grow your YouTube channel. Can you folks hear me? It's very, very windy. Like, can you see this? Look. It's windy as hell. Whew! I should take this thing off and show the difference. I've done that before. Queen, you keep saying you don't have Reddit. Open up a browser on your smartphone or your tablet. Go to reddit.com, and there you go. Create a free account. You don't have to, Queen. No one's forcing you. But I'll tell you what, Queen. If you come out there, I can tell you, more and more people will find out about you, and they'll start supporting your stuff. And Queen, I can tell you honestly, your dialogue would be missed if you didn't come out there. It's all up to you folks. You folks don't have to join, but I'm just saying to those of you that don't join, you're going to be missing out. You're going to be missing out on some great conversation and a huge opportunity to grow your social media presence, especially on YouTube, at no cost. Heck, I've done most of the legwork on it. I set it all up, right? All you have to do is show up every now and then. Why have a Reddit when the YouTube team keeps messing with my videos? Because, Queen, here's the thing. If you do get shut down, that's a place for you to post and say, hey, YouTube shut down my former channel. I got a new channel at this link. Please subscribe. And you'll get your followers back. What I'm trying to do, Queen, for all of us, not just myself, is diversify us. Get us to connect with these people off of YouTube as well, so in case something does happen, Queen, we can immediately get you back up and running on a different channel. Make sense? I still have my main channel. I know, Queen. Queen, you don't have to prove anything to me. I'm not forcing you or anyone to do anything. We just like you, and we would love for you to participate if you want to. If not, if it's too difficult for you, no worries. But Queen, if I didn't invite you and left you out, that would be just as bad, right? So I'm just putting it out there, that's all. So here's the difference. Let me take this off a second, okay? Now, how much wind is on this, right? Do you guys hear the wind? Let me tell you what the difference is, all right? So this is with a lot of wind, right? Whoops. Whoops, sorry. I tilted the phone. Could you folks hear the difference there? It's very, very windy. Woo, man. Can somebody verify if you can hear me clearly throughout all this heavy wind? SIFUSMO Dion says, I've read some good articles on Reddit. Queen says, yes, they can hear me. All right. So yeah, folks, join the Reddit group, whether you're a moderator or not. It's a great place to have great conversations about anything. My Reddit group is an emotional support group. But we can also talk about anything and everything, because anything and everything involves emotion, right? We can talk about business topics. We can talk about helping people find their dream job, whether it's in the corporate world, working for somebody else, Or if they want to transition into becoming a self-employed entrepreneur, we can help them with that. If you're struggling to get promoted in the corporate world and you're wondering why, we can help you with that. I have personal experience with all this stuff. Whew, man. Whew, it's like a tornado out here almost. Wow. Well, I can't help my caller. It's just going to keep coming up, so I'm just going to have to deal with it. We have adverse conditions out here today on the SF Bay Trail in Redwood City. It's all good, though. It's great resistance for the walk. Burn some more calories. We also talk about male and female relationship dynamics, dating, marriage. We can also talk about sexual orientation. All those aspects, I'm very well versed on all those things. So, if you're gay or lesbian, or you're bi, you're trans, whatever your sexual orientation is, we can help you because the same principles that apply to heterosexual relationships apply to all relationships despite your sexual orientation. There's always a masculine and feminine person in the relationship, regardless. There's always one side that exudes more masculine energy and the other side exudes more feminine energy. That's just how it is. So we can help anyone with anything, right? And especially if you're not feeling good on any particular day, you're feeling down, you tried to accomplish something, maybe you went through a breakup or you're going through a divorce and you need people to talk with, right? And no one else will talk with you. This is what this group is about. I will help you folks get through that along with my strong team of moderators here from my YouTube channel that will also be mods on the subreddit. I even had one person post in the group already saying that we need a group like this. No one's created a group like this, emotional support for men. And I'm like, that's why I created it. Exactly. Thank you so much for your comment. And then one other guy said, a lot of guys won't feel comfortable sharing their emotions or asking for emotional support in a co-ed group. You may want to do it, for men only. And I said, well, it's not going to happen because here's the thing. Men need to learn how to be emotionally open, aware, and available with women. That is half the battle of getting a woman, right? If I created that group or this group and only made it available to men, which women could still join, you can't lock out women from Reddit groups, okay? I would be doing them a disservice, right? I want men and women to jump into this group, speak their mind regarding anything that's going on, but I also want it done respectfully, professionally, and maturely. No trolling. No trolling, no hate, no attacking. Speak your mind freely on anything you want to talk about. But let me tell you something. Myself and my mods here on YouTube that are also going to be mods on the subreddit, we are experts at picking up on trollish behavior and content, and will immediately ban and delete you. So just so you know, you don't have to keep it totally clean. Be yourself, but just don't troll, don't attack anyone, and don't put out any hateful messages. Be respectful, professional, and mature, and say whatever the hell you want to say, and we'll help you with it. Adelaide's Advice Addict, how you doing? Queen says, hello, Adelaide. Mine is all political. Yes, Queen, I'm more on the independent. I don't agree with either side. Here's the thing, Queen. We can even talk about politics there. I actually set up categories on the subreddit today. Topics that we more often discuss in this group. And politics is one of them. Despite the fact I can't stand politics, Queen, I've learned that they're an important part of life. And they need to be discussed because they do affect our lives emotionally as well. Everything in life affects us emotionally. For both men and women. We either feel good about something, which is a good positive emotion, or if something doesn't go our way, or somebody tries to kick us down and hurt us, right? We feel negative emotion. We feel hurt, right? Everything in life involves emotion. I'm getting a little distracted because it's extremely windy. I'm sure the wind will die down by the time I get to the end here, and then when I'm coming back, I'll be going opposite the wind, so it'll be pushing me, and it won't be coming in my face. I can hear all the wind. You folks can't because of the windscreen. So yeah, join the Reddit group. Genuine emotional support for men and women. Go below the description, a couple lines down. Click on the link, reddit.com/r/real emotional support. One more time, reddit.com/r/real emotional support. And we'll see you on the flip side. I'm going to be very active in that group. I've already been very active there. All right, let's get right to it. Queen or Dion, can you put the topic in the chat before I butcher it? I went off on a tangent and I forgot the exact words of the topic. I know what I want to talk about, but I don't want to butcher it. So if you can put in the topic in the chat, that would be great. All right, welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live from the very windy San Francisco Bay Trail in beautiful Redwood City, California at Bar Island. This is episode number 138, 138 of these. And Queen's been here for practically all of them. And the topic is, you only have yourself to blame. That's part of it. You only have yourself to blame for the actions you take in life. One more time, you only have yourself to blame for the actions you take in life. Folks, this is another one of those topics that if I can get you to understand what this truly means, it will also change your life. This is a life-changing topic. Because once you realize this, and you realize that you're the only one that can decide what you do, no matter how hard someone else tries to influence you, or convince you, or manipulate you, or trick you into doing something, it's ultimately your decision whether you want to do anything or not. A lot of people like to complain and say, oh, they tricked me into doing this. They manipulated me. They pressured me into it. I felt like if I didn't do it, they weren't going to like me, right? How many times have we encountered people that try to get us to do things because it benefits them but doesn't benefit us at all, right? An example, a lot of these trolls on YouTube, they keep trying to reel me back in and suck me back in. Why? Because I benefit their content. If I feed into them, because I'm a consistent YouTuber, I give them content, and guess what? They get entertained, their audience gets entertained, and then they make money, right? How does that benefit me? Doesn't benefit me at all. Why? Because I'm completely the opposite of those people. My content is positive content. It's not drama content. And their audience doesn't like my content because they want to, sulk in their misery by consuming drama content all the time, right? So if those people do things and try to convince me to suck me back in, and I start feeding back into them, right, and start going back on their live stream panels or doing reaction videos to them, right? Whose fault is it? Was I forced to go on there? No, I made a choice to go on there, right? There was a fly on my selfie stick. I made a choice to go on there. If I look back now, years ago, when I was feeding into all this stuff unknowingly, right? And I was blaming these people for what they were doing, I look back and I say, you know what? I allowed them to do that to me. They didn't force me to go on their panels. I had to get on my phone or my laptop and go into their stream to get on their panel. These people didn't come over to my place and force me to go on. I chose to go on. So I only have myself to blame for the actions I took in the past. And even though people are very manipulative and they're very convincing to try to get you to do something, right? You still have to think twice before you do something. And if you give somebody a chance one time and they manipulate you and take advantage of you, don't get upset at them and don't get upset at yourself. Sit there and realize what happened. Okay, they promised me something, and when I went on there, something else happened, right? So the next time they try to come at me to get me to do whatever it is they got me to do, such as go on that show, right? I'm going to think twice before I go on there. And more than likely, you're not going to go on there, right? But what happens? What happens? These people will keep pushing your buttons. They'll make things up. They'll say things about you. They'll make videos on you. They will do all this crazy stuff just to try to engage with you and just to try to trigger you, right? And if they can successfully trigger you, then guess what? They've won and you've lost, right? I learned one thing being on YouTube over the last several years, and this is another thing that also helps me in my personal life. The person that doesn't get triggered, the man or woman that doesn't get triggered, will always win. Even if it doesn't appear that way, you'll always win. When people try to trigger you in life, for whatever reason, if you don't let them get to you, and you just kind of smile at them, or ignore them, or just say it is what it is and not feed into them, right? Like in person, if you're dealing with people like this, smile at them, say it is what it is. Hey, I understand how you're feeling. I understand why you're upset. Is there anything I can do to help you feel better, right? And it's not easy to handle it that way, because when someone's coming at you, trying to trigger you, saying whatever it takes to try to trigger you, it's frustrating, right? And we want to react. But if we don't react, whew, God, it's very windy. But if we don't react, they're going to wonder why we're not reacting. Then they're going to try harder to trigger us, right? And if we just keep our cool, eventually they'll just chill out and move on. You only have yourself to blame. You only have yourself to blame for the actions you take in your life. You only have yourself to blame for any actions you take in life. Queen put the full topic out there. Thank you, Queen. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you to you as well, Dion. I want to share a few examples here before I get to the observation deck. I don't think there's anyone out there right now. I'll go up there. Whew, it's just extremely windy today. That's okay. Great exercise. I want to share a few examples without mentioning any names. I'm sure some people watching from the other side, if they are, will figure it out, but who cares? It's just for example purposes. There's a woman in the Coach Eli moderator group. I'm not going to mention her name. And her and I, we've been talking privately. She was telling me about this drama group that I also used to be a part of unknowingly. And earlier on in the week, we were talking about it, and I just told her, I told her, look, I'm going to just call her ma'am. I don't want to say her name right now. I said, ma'am, look, just ignore them no matter what they do. Let them talk about you. Let them make videos about you. Let them try to reach out to you through email or chatting, right? Just ignore them. And most importantly, I said, don't ever go on a panel with them because it'll be a setup. They're just going to try and trigger you. And what happened? Last night, I was hanging out with my mother for a little bit. We went out for a little bit to get some dessert. And I was talking with this woman, and she told me I went on someone else's panel, and they promised me that nothing would go wrong, and it would be all legitimate and real and this and that, right? And when I got on there, the trolls in the chat attacked me, and then, the people on the panel were just, talking smack and this and that. And I said, ma'am, I'm not going to say I told you so because I respect you. And you're going through the same thing and trying to figure out the same thing I did years ago, okay? But the way I would handle it is this. Don't make any response videos. Ignore them. If you have to block these people from your messenger programs, your emails, whatever it is, just ignore them. Don't feed into them. I try to tell her the truth of the matter is this. These people don't even really hate you or me or anyone. These people create drama content. It's fake, instigated drama content. It's kind of like a casting director going out trying to find new casting members for their drama shit show, right? And when these people reached out to you, ma'am, to try to get you to go on their show, they had to make it appear like it was all going to be good, right? That you weren't going to be attacked or you weren't going to be victimized or anything, right? Because if they don't tell you that, you're not going to go, right? But what happens? You go on there and they flip the script on you, right? Actually, they didn't flip the script on you because the script was already written in the way as it happened. They just told you something different to try to get you on the show to make content out of you or on you at your expense, right? And here's the thing. This is just one example. I actually really respect this woman. She's an amazing person. But I'm going to say this, ma'am. I've been in your shoes before. And the only person I had to blame, the only person that I could blame for doing that or allowing that to happen is myself. Ma'am, you only have yourself to blame for going on that panel when you already knew more than likely what was going to happen. So why did you do it, right? You did it because you're like me. You're a good person and you like giving people chances, right? And so do I. But when you give people 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 20 chances like these drama groups, if after the 20th time of the same thing happening to you, no matter what they say or how good they say it's going to be this time, after 20 times of dealing with the same exact thing, ma'am, I think you should put 2 and 2 together and realize that that's just what they do. And I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm not saying this to attack you. Ma'am, you're an amazing person. I want to help you. I want to create real content with you, and we're going to do that. But do you folks understand what I'm saying, right? People in your life are going to try to manipulate you, convince you, to manipulate you and convince you to do things that you know aren't right. You know these things don't feel right. But maybe these people are having friends of yours. Maybe they're friends of friends, right? And you don't upset your friends, so you give these people a chance, right? And these people, what they do is they try to take advantage of the fact that they know you, or they know you through someone, to make you feel more comfortable and relaxed to come on their shows or to do whatever they're trying to get you to do, right? So they take advantage of an old trick. They'll build a relationship with you, right? They'll make you feel like you're their best friend so you can trust them, right? And then once they get you to once they feel that you're able to trust them, then they'll try to pull their shenanigans on you. I had to learn that the hard way in life. I allowed many people in my life, even before YouTube and social media came out, I allowed many people in my life to take advantage of me, to convince me to do things that weren't right, that benefited them, and didn't benefit me in any way, shape, or form, and it set me back. And as I've gotten older, I've learned to better acknowledge and recognize these situations and not do anything I don't want to do, no matter who approaches me with it, even if it's people that I know and care for. Sometimes people that you know and care for are going to try to get you to do things that you know aren't right, because it benefits them and doesn't benefit you in any way, shape, or form. And they try to get you to do it because they try to leverage the fact that, oh, I thought you were a friend, or, you know this person, right? You know this person, right? You can trust me, right? That's what they do. I was watching The Walking Dead last night, says Queen. All right. I'm just going to stay up here for a second. There's another person up here. Got a plane going to San Carlos Airport. So we're halfway through, folks. We are at 43 minutes. We probably have another maybe 40 minutes or so before the show ends. So get your questions, comments, and concerns in now. And before I start heading back, again, tonight at around 10 or 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7 or 7:30 p.m. Pacific, I'm going to be doing a brief, probably hour and a half stream from the studio. And we're going to be discussing, for the men that consistently work out, what motivates them to consistently work out. It's a very interesting topic. And this can also help women because it's the same thing for women. This posting was just addressed for men. But it's the same thing for women as well. So that'll be coming up later tonight. When I'm done with this stream, I'm going to go home and make something to eat, and then I'll be ready to rock and roll. And later on this week, to the mods out there, if you mods want to do that show on trolls and the court of public opinion, the one we were going to do last Friday, I know most of you are saying that you now have a headset ready and you're ready to go. I'd like to do that show on Thursday night if possible. I may not be available on Friday night, which is why let's aim to do that show on Thursday night if that's possible. All right, that gentleman is back and taking off. It's that older gentleman with the shirt off that I've seen on this trail before. It's so nice when you're a part of your community and you see the same people that are walking these trails. Like I'll tell you, I have a lot of respect for that man. I think he's like in his like 70s, maybe, yeah, probably his 70s or so. And he comes out here every day, right? And he's staying healthy and fit, right? And I'll share more about that. I'm going to save, more of these points for the show tonight. But there are so many benefits for men and women to exercise regularly, take a 3 or 4 mile walk daily, or at least do some kind of exercise for like an hour each day. There are more benefits to it than just staying in shape or getting in shape and staying in shape, right? And we'll share more about that tonight from the studio. So another example I want to discuss regarding you only have yourself to blame for your actions in life. There's a plane going to the San Carlos airport, flying low. I'm sure you can hear it. Man, that guy's way down there now. God bless you, man. I love it when I see older people, like senior citizens, running and walking on this trail or any trail. That is just amazing. So here's I can't believe this. There's only 1 like here. Do my mods not even like my videos? I have 1 like. Am I that unlikable? Am I that ugly? I mean, I'm a little bit ugly, but, come on. Jesus Christ, man. 1 like. Whenever I go on anyone's stream I support, especially as a moderator, the first thing I do is like the stream. For some reason, it doesn't work that way on my channel. I think my channel is cursed, right? There's less wind coming this way because now it's on my back. And it'll take me less time to get back because the wind is pushing me, right? Still 1 like. That's all right. I'm not going to worry about it. It is what it is. So here's another example where you only have yourself to blame for your actions in life. And this one goes for men and women, but more so for men, right? And this is one that I really want to teach our younger men to be real careful here, because there are women nowadays, and there have always been women that are going to try to trap you, right? I think you guys know where I'm going with this, right? You ever encounter a woman that, gets with you, she really likes you, right? You start hanging out a little while. You start having sex, and you're using condoms at first, and then she tells you, oh, we don't have to use condoms anymore. I'm on the pill, I'm safe, right? Back in the days, the pill was the first form of birth control before all these other more permanent more effective methods of birth control came out. And it's not that the pill's not effective, it is. As long as the woman remembers to take it daily at the same time, it's effective. But what happens? What happens in many cases with the pill? Women forget to take the damn pill, right? And then if they forget to take the pill one day, they're supposed to take 2 the next day, and it still gives you a decent level of protection towards pregnancy. But if you forget it more than 2 days, then you might be in trouble, right? How many of you guys have been with women that have said, oh, I'm safe, I'm on the pill, right? Or it's a safe time of the month, right? I'm not ovulating or anything like that, right? So next thing you know, you're having your fun with no raincoat on, right? Because who likes to use a raincoat really anyway? Let's be real about it, right? But you got to use a raincoat if you don't know the woman, right? And if you're unsure if she's not on some decent form of birth control, or if you both are ready to have kids, then that's okay too. But if you're not, you gotta protect yourself, right? So what happens? Give me a second. I have a few people walking by. She says she's safe. You feel comfortable. You do your thing as a man. Ooh, right? What's the best way to put it for the YouTube algorithm? You release yourself internally, let's put it that way, and next thing you know, a few weeks later, a month later, she comes up to you and shows you a positive pregnancy test. And then you as the guy are like, I thought you were on the pill. Well, I was. I don't know what happened. I was, but I don't know, right? You only have yourself to blame for the actions you take. Nowadays, we have IUDs, we have the Depo-Provera shots, we have many different more permanent or semi-permanent birth control methods. When I say semi-permanent, it means that like the IUD is good for 5 years. And then you just replace it, it's good for another 5 years, right? And if you're ready to have kids, you just take that thing out and then you're pretty quickly fertile again as a woman, right? I've always been one in my relationships where we've always talked about this, right? And I've always wanted kids, right? So if it did happen for me, unexpectedly, it wouldn't be as bad because I wanted kids. And I don't sleep with any woman that I don't really care for. So to me, it doesn't matter. But nevertheless, you want to protect yourself as best as possible and do things at the right time. A lot of guys will blame the woman for a situation like that. And in some cases, the woman might be trying to trap you or might have legitimately forgot her birth control, right? But if you're a smart guy and proactive like myself, number one, you wouldn't trust a birth control method that can fail if the woman forgets to take it on any given day. You'd want to try to find a more permanent method or continue using your love glove. Again, no one likes to use love gloves. They suck. We all get that, right? But sometimes you have to. Unless you're really into the woman and you know her, you've gotten to know her, she's gotten to know you, and you have something monogamous, right? And even then, if you're not ready to have a kid, you got to be as careful as possible. Talk things out with that woman, right? I talk about these things from the very beginning. Like week one of if I see a woman more than once, we know it's probably going to go there. That's when the talk starts happening, right? Do you want kids? Do you not want kids? Can you still have kids or not? If you're still fertile, what type of birth control are you on? How effective is it, right? Guys, you cannot be afraid to have those conversations with women. And quite frankly, the right woman will actually respect you for it because you're trying to be proactive. Now, you don't really want to talk about this until after the first date to make sure there's something there, because if you talk about it, like let's say you're talking to women online and you start talking about these things, some women might think that you're just trying to find out if they're safe so you can just bang them raw dog, right? And not have to worry about anything, right? Some guys are like that, right? But if you're a good guy, you still want to find out, but it's all about the timing. You like that term there, Dion, raw dog? You know what I'm talking about, right, Dion? I wonder if he's still around. No one has commented in a while. Is anyone still around in the chat? You just hanging out? There's 17 people here. I really want you folks to start owning up to your actions. I mean, you don't have to listen to me, but if you don't, then your life's going to be more difficult. Because a man and a woman, men and women that live an easygoing life, we should be back. Can you folks see me? We're back live. I know how to fix these things. I'll tell you what happened. We should be back live. Can you folks see me? No, I went offline. I'll tell you what happened. It was just really weird. This happens sometimes. It's not my phone. It was the 5G connection. Yeah, here's what happened. And if anyone else comes in after I mention it, just let them know. What happened was, all of a sudden, my 5G connection, turned off. And then I had to shut down the YouTube app, go into my phone, and what you do is you turn on airplane mode, and then you turn it off, and it refreshes your connection to the cell tower. And then it came right back. Sometimes the 5G connection or the 4G connection or LTE connection, whatever you have in your area, it's all going 5G now, will do that, and you have to restart it. And then I just relaunched the YouTube app, went back into the live stream, and it asks you, would you like to end the stream or resume? And I just resumed, and I'm back. So my apologies. If you're watching on the replay and you saw it cut out, YouTube will splice it together. And it'll be almost seamless, but you'll notice a splice where I was cut off. Anyway, we're back. It's all good, right? No harm, no foul, right? It's all good. Shit happens. It's technology, right? At least I know how to handle it. Not only on my phone, but in the studio. I had the same thing happen with my Ethernet adapter the other night, and I fixed it. I came back. I've become a pro at this shit. It happens, says Lewis, with the big guns, right, Lewis? I was about to talk about something and I totally forgot about it. We were talking about you only have yourself to blame for any actions you take in life. You only have yourself to blame for any actions you take in life. I think what I was going to say is this. If you folks can understand the true meaning of taking ownership for whatever you do, no matter, oh yeah, I remember what I was going to say now. Here we go. I was talking about, let's say that you go to buy a TV. Let's say you go to the electronics store and you have $1,000 budget to buy a TV, right? And you go in there, and then all the salesmen, they come up to you, and you finally end up with one, and he starts showing you the $2,000 TVs, and the $5,000 TVs, and the $10,000, 120-inch top of the line, OLED with 20.1 surround sound, right? All that crap, right? Right? And let's say you went in there with $1,000 budget but you have credit also as well. And the salesperson kept on emotionally just driving you towards that $10,000 TV or whatever, right? And let's say you walked out of there with a $10,000 TV. Here comes a plane. It's actually flying pretty slow. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Isn't that beautiful, Queen? Lewis, Dion, if you're still around. Adelaide. Wonderful. So let's say you buy that $10,000 TV, right? Yes, says Lewis. About time you came back. Thanks, Queen. Queen likes to smack me around a little bit. I'm used to it. It's all good. We're good friends. You know how much respect and love I have for you, like a sister, Queen. You know that, right? You're like a blood sister I never had. Yes, I do. That's all good, Queen. We have fun here, right? We have good, clean fun. You know, it's interesting fun, too. We talk about great stuff. So you buy the $10,000 TV, you went in there with the $1,000 budget. Is it the salesperson's fault for convincing you to buy that TV? Let's say you have a girlfriend you're living with or a wife, right? And you're on a strict budget. Let's say your wife wasn't there. You told her you're going to go buy the TV, right? And you come back home with a $10,000 TV. How's your wife or girlfriend going to react when you went way over budget? As a man, are you going to do what most men say? Well, the salesperson convinced me to buy the higher end model. It's going to last longer. It's got 20.1, Dolby Atmos digital surround sound. It's got all this, and your woman's like, what the hell is Dolby Atmos, right? Women don't know. I mean, some women do, but listen, women don't give a shit about, whether a TV's $1,000 or $10,000 or has 20.1 surround sound or all that fancy crap, right? All women want to do is grab the damn remote and turn it on, right? So your job was to go and buy a $1,000 decent TV. You can get a decent TV for $1,000, but you were convinced by the salesperson to buy a $10,000 TV. And so you're going to go home now and blame it on the salesperson. You're going to talk to your girlfriend or wife when she asks you about it. Oh, he convinced me to buy it. No! You decided to buy it. You chose to buy it. Sure, the salesperson's going to try to convince you. They're trying to make a commission, right? But the salesperson can't force you to buy anything. He can use fancy lingo and be persuasive and all that shit, right? But ultimately, it was your decision to swipe that credit card through the terminal, right? You only have yourself to blame for your actions, for any actions you take in life, including that one, right? Now, granted, what man wouldn't want to have a $10,000 TV with 20.1 digital surround sound, if that's even out there? It probably is. With Dolby Atmos and all that crap, right? But if it's out of our budget and we charge it and we do something different than we were going to initially do, right? It was our decision to do that, no one else's. And now, if you destroyed the budget for yourself, or if you're living with a girlfriend and you have a budget, or you're married and you have a budget for the family and you blew it, and now you're going to be dealing with the repercussions, from those other people, not just, your own, right? Not just the fact that you decided to spend more money. It's your mistake. It's your fault. You decided to do that, right? Now, most places will offer you on electronics a 14-day return policy, right? So you still have time to return it, right? And that's why they have those return policies, because there's buyer's remorse, right? And the laws were put into place to have a minimal amount of return policy, which I believe is 14 days, because if businesses didn't have to have a return policy, even for electronics, they'd be happy, because once you spend 10 times as much on a TV than you initially wanted to, you'd be stuck with it, right? Those return policies and laws are in place to protect the consumers from shady salespeople or from convincing salespeople that convinced you to spend way more than you wanted to, right? We've all done that at one point or another. And we've all initially tried to blame it on the person that convinced us to do it, when ultimately it was our decision to do it, right? I'm trying to teach people. I'm trying to get you in the mindset to take ownership of any action you take. And that way, in the future, you can be a little more proactive. You can be a little more proactive and think about the consequences before you take the actions. With the TV, think about, okay, if I buy the $10,000 TV, my wife's going to kill me, right? Figure of speech, right? Figure of speech, YouTube, you know what I'm saying, right? If I don't use a condom with a woman, whether she says she's on birth control, even if she says she's on birth control or the pill, there's a chance it might fail, right? There's still a chance she could get pregnant. You got to think about that, right? Most guys don't. They're like, oh, I want to raw dog that, right? Oh, I'll pull out, right? Yeah. We've all been there, guys. Come on. We've all been there, right? But we don't think about the consequences during that time. But after the shit happens, right? Then we're like, oh shit, right? I want to get you guys and gals, and that's more so men that struggle with this, but women do too. I want to get you guys and gals to think proactively, think ahead, think of the consequences to any actions you take before you take them, right? And only take actions after dissecting the consequences and being okay with whatever happens, right? Does that make sense? Am I making any sense here? Or am I talking out of the gluteus maximus? You know what a gluteus maximus is, right, Lewis? If you're still around. Hey, we got 12 people back. Get your questions, comments, and concerns in, folks. We're going to be going off the air in about 15 to 20 minutes. We are at 1 hour and 8 minutes. Again, join me tonight from the studio at around 10 or 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7 or 7:30 p.m. Pacific. I'm going to be doing a show. I'm going to be going over one Reddit posting. There are a lot of comments. We're going to talk about it. It's very important. The topic is primarily catered to men, but women can benefit from this in the same ways. The topic's going to be for men that work out or exercise regularly, daily, etc., like myself. What motivates us to keep doing it regularly, right? Because there are lots of men out there that are unhealthy, they're out of shape, they're trying to get into shape, and then they will go and do a walk like this once or twice, and after a couple of days, they're like, I did it 2 days, I'll take the rest of the week off. I'll get back to it next week, right? The next week comes, I'll get it the following week, right? What motivates me to exercise at least half an hour to an hour, usually an hour or even more each day, like an hour and a half? And how do I do it when life is so busy nowadays? There's always time to exercise. And here's the thing. A lot of people say, hey, I work a lot of hours, or, you know, by the time I'm done with my work, it's dark outside. So I can't go take a walk. Well, you can work out inside your place. You can do push-ups, sit-ups. You can buy a treadmill and run on the treadmill for half an hour. Oh, I can't afford a treadmill. Oh, that's a bunch of crap. That's BS, right? Or you could even take a walk before work. If you have to be at work at 8 in the morning and your work's a half an hour drive, including traffic, okay? What if you got up a couple hours earlier than you do, right? You get up at 5 a.m., you go and you take an hour walk. You're back at your place by 6, you get ready for work, and then you leave at 7:30, and then you get to work. And now you have your 1 hour of exercise in, right? That's a little prelude of what's coming up tonight. It's a beautiful day out here. Very, very beautiful day. I think if people take a good hard look at themselves in the mirror, and first and foremost, you start loving yourself no matter what, right? No matter what you look like, right? Or who you are, right? You can always turn things around, but you have to start by looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, you know what? I don't like what I see, but I love myself, so I'm going to fix it, right? I'm going to get into good shape. I'm going to change my attitude around. I'm going to reevaluate my friendships and business partnerships and stuff like that, right? I'm going to get my life in order, and I'm going to associate myself with like-minded people, like-minded positive people that have similar interests and goals and values and morals and ethics, right? Folks, it's up to you how you want to live your life. The actions you take are up to you and no one else. And again, like I've been saying, you have no one to blame for your actions regarding anything you do in life. You have no one to blame for your actions in life besides yourself. Give me a second. And if you do blame other people, and you blame other people all the time, then you have a serious issue. You have a serious issue. You know, you're struggling with something. Maybe you're insecure about something. Maybe you're unstable. Okay? I want to help you work through any of your underlying issues so you can live the life that you deserve to live. I just saw a foot-tall jackrabbit go over that way. I think it went in the water now. Take a good hard look at yourself in the mirror. And I keep referring to this whenever I talk about this. Back to that Michael Jackson song, God Rest His Soul, Man in the Mirror. I'm going to make a change for once in my life. It's going to feel real good. It's going to make a difference. Going to make it right? As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this feeling's blowing my mind. There are kids in the street without enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their needs, right? It's a beautiful song, right? It's a beautiful song, and the point of the song is this. If you want to make something out of yourself, it all starts within yourself, right? If you want to have a great life and enjoy life in the way it was meant to be lived, it all starts with what you see in the mirror. Literally, you have to be happy with how you look because you're a physical person, you're a physical human being, right? And then after that, you have to love who you are internally. You have to learn to love emotionally and spiritually and mentally, right? And you have to learn to be understanding that everything's not always going to go your way or be perfect, right? If everything in life was perfect, life would be boring. We'd be complaining about things being too perfect if everything was perfect, right? It's actually rather fun and interesting and challenging. Well, it's fun and interesting for life to be challenging because it makes you work towards something, right? If everything was handed to us perfectly and we had nothing to work towards, life would be boring. It'd be stale, right? Part of me being a man is working on my purpose and striving to better myself each and every day. And that's what I want to help as many men and women accomplish. It all starts within yourself. It starts with how you see yourself. Keep talking about the book, The Secret, right? The book and the movie, The Secret. I've read the book and I've seen the movie many times. And I keep saying, this is what the movie, the famous authors and speakers that were in that movie, there were like 15 of them or so. They said the same thing in many different, in different words, which is what I'm trying to say. But it all boiled down to this. The secret is this. How you see yourself is how everyone in the rest of the world's going to see you, right? How you see yourself is how the rest of the world is going to see you. When I first watched that movie, I was like 33 or so. I think I was 33 years old. Okay? Like 13, almost 14 years ago. I'm telling you, folks, I made the biggest difference and change in my life over the last 13 years. It took me until I was about 33 to really start realizing it, right? After I watched the movie The Secret, it was recommended to me by a friend. Said, you got to watch it. Dude, drop everything and watch it, right? And if he didn't say that, I would say, whatever, dude, right? But he said, dude, it changed my life. I'm serious. Drop everything and watch it. Okay. And it did change my life. It did change my life because I started to realize what these people were saying is that you are the secret. Every one of us is our own individual secret. What's the secret to happiness? You are the secret to your own happiness. You create your own happiness. You either create your own happiness or you create your own demise. You're in control of all your actions, right? You only have yourself to blame for any actions, any and all actions you take in life, right? So if you go out into this world with a shitty attitude, if you dress like shit, if you're an asshole, right? What kind of people are you going to attract? How's your life going to go? Who's going to want to be around someone like that? Well, maybe some other people like you, but then you're just dwelling in each other's sadness and misery, right? But what if you took care of yourself like I do? Stay in shape, wear nice clothing, you smell good, you shower regularly, you wear deodorant, you wear cologne, you have a great positive attitude, you get up each morning, you love what you see in the mirror. And this is another thing I tell people. Look at the mirror every morning. I think that's the electricity you can hear. Can you folks hear that electricity flowing through the lines? I can hear it. Maybe you can hear it through the microphone. It's very high voltage, Lewis Fuller. Give me a second before I continue. Got some people crossing. Got about maybe 5 to 7 minutes, folks, before we go off the air. Get your questions, comments, and concerns in. Get up each and every morning and do this. And I can tell you it will change your fucking life if you do this every single morning. I've said it before, I'll say it again, it's been a while. Look in the mirror and say, I love myself 5 freaking times. I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself 5 freaking times. Yeah, it's kind of stupid, right? It's kind of cliche, right? Eli, you're asking me to talk to myself and tell myself that I love myself, looking at myself in the mirror every morning? You damn right I am. As stupid as it may seem to be, it works. It changed my life around, and I want to help you change your life. Turn your life around for the better. What a beautiful day. Got somebody at the end of the bridge over there doing leg lifts. I want to wait to see if he passes on by before I go on by there. Give me a second, folks. I'm going to pass on by here. All right. It's a very nice gentleman said hi to me. He's an older gentleman. Working out, staying fit. That is so awesome. And that dude's probably at least maybe 10 to 12 years older than me. He's probably maybe close to 60, and he looks good for his age. Man, men really age well. No disrespect, ladies. Some of you that take care of yourselves, you look good well into your 50s and 60s. But some women that don't take care of themselves, even in their 30s, look like they're 60. It's all about how well you take care of yourself, right? How much do you love yourself? Do you love yourself enough to take care of yourself? Not only mentally and emotionally and spiritually, but physically too. There are a lot of nice people out there that are very emotionally, spiritually, and mentally healthy, but they're very physically unhealthy, right? What if I told you I could help you be healthy all around? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, right? How much of a difference would that make in your life? And a lot of guys complain that they can't get dates nowadays. The truth of the matter is this: if you're a guy who takes care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and you're financially stable, come on, you got to be financially stable, right? You keep on putting yourself out there, you'll eventually find a woman, right? The guys that can't get a woman that complain are lacking in one of those aspects. They're either out of shape, they have a shitty attitude, they're not a great conversationalist, they're emotionally unavailable or unstable, or they're immature, or they're insecure. There's something lacking in you as a man if you can't get a woman. And that's another thing I want to focus on, because even decent men nowadays, in this day of in this day and age of feminism and radical feminism, if you're a good guy and you take care of yourself, you'll eventually find a woman that's dateable and a good person. But she's going to want you to look good too, just like you want her to look good, right? And she's going to want you to have a great attitude, just like you're going to want her to have a great attitude, right? Et cetera, right? Look at that plane right there, right by the sun. Beautiful. That plane went over the electrical towers. This is just beautiful. This is a beautiful spot there. Queen, are you still around? Anyone still around? Lewis, Queen? It's absolutely gorgeous. All right, folks, I'm going to start wrapping this up. We are at 1 hour and 25 minutes. Rabbits don't swim. Oh, I didn't know that, Queen. Yes, I am here. Still only have one thumb up. I don't know if there's something wrong with YouTube or even my mods are just not smashing the like button. I've smashed the like button sometimes and it doesn't stick for some reason. I don't know. I think YouTube's been having some issues with the like button lately. Anyway, I'm not concerned about it. I've got different ways of growing my channel and my business. I'm not dependent on the YouTube algorithm to serve out my content. It's just the place I put out most of my content. You know, I'm on Reddit, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, I'm on, what do you call it, Twitter. I'm even on Instagram, I just don't use it. Maybe I should start using Instagram. I'm also on TikTok, but I haven't really gotten into the TikTok phenomenon. I put out one video out there like last year. It's a lot, folks. I mean, you know, if you're going to diversify your content on social media, on different social media platforms, it's a lot of work. It's the best thing to do. It's just a lot of work when you're doing it by yourself. So TikTok is a Chinese spying app. Yeah, you're probably right, Queen. Anyway, YouTube's the best video platform, and I love YouTube. I really think YouTube is incredible. They have the best quality audio and video. They have the best live streaming platform. They have the best monetization program, and it keeps getting better. So I'm here to stay. But anyway, folks, I'm going to wrap this up. 4:15. It's probably about 7:45 Eastern, 4:45 Pacific, right, Queen? Something like that. Again, tonight, folks, it's probably going to be closer to 7:30, at around 7:30, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. I'll be doing a stream from the studio. That's in the little less than 3 hours, so I got a jet, have some dinner, and set it all up. We're going to be discussing, you know, for men that exercise regularly, daily, kind of like what I do, you know, what motivates you to keep doing it regularly, right? Very, very interesting. And I'm going to be going over a Reddit posting with a lot of comments, and I'm going to be dedicating the entire show to that one Reddit posting. I'll share my thoughts at the beginning and the end, but in the middle, we're going to go through a lot of different comments in that subreddit group where that posting is at. And it's some great information that if you just tune in and check it out, folks, it'll change your life. Exercise is very important, but it's hard to motivate yourself to get on an exercise regimen, right? Especially if you're out of shape. If you're in shape like myself, part of your motivation is to exercise to stay in shape, but also there are some other things. It makes you feel good, and I'll explain more about that, like the endorphins and all that. I'll explain more about that later tonight from the studio. With that being said, thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you to 7:50 on the East Coast. I was close. Thank you to Queen Helen Case for being here. Thank you to Adelaide's Advice Addict. Thank you to Lewis Fuller. And thank you to Dion, a.k.a. SFSMO, for being here earlier, and anyone else that was watching behind the scenes. With that being said, have a good one. We'll see you later tonight from the